Mobs of Afghans descending on the Kabul airport, so desperate to leave the country that some fell from planes to their deaths. A suicide attack that killed 180 people, including 13 American troops. U.S. military hardware turning into Taliban spoils of war. These images are still haunting nearly a year after the last American soldier left.
Departments and agencies have begun their independent after-action reviews of the operations at the end of the U.S. military mission in Afghanistan.
U.S. agencies reviewing the chaotic and bloody withdrawal include the Departments of State and Defense, but it's unclear when the reports will be published and whether any parts will be unclassified. Administration officials say they will mark the anniversary by honoring the service and sacrifice of those who died, recognizing the lives saved, and focusing on how the U.S. is now on a stronger strategic footing. Earlier this month, Al-Qaeda leader Ayman al-Zawahiri was killed in a drone strike ordered by President Joe Biden.
Justice has been delivered, and this terrorist leader is no more.
Al-Zawahiri's death is evidence of U.S. over-the-horizon counter-terror capabilities.
The strike on Zawahiri will enable the administration to mark the one-year anniversary by making the very simple point that we've brought our troops home, we've removed them from harm's way, but we continue to do everything we can to protect Americans the world over from the threat of terrorism.
But observers say there's a lack of effort to learn lessons from the war that killed more than 2,400 American troops and cost taxpayers $300 million every day for 20 years, spanning both Democratic and Republican administrations.
So there's a bipartisan failure here, which means there's not a huge incentive for one side or the other to drive any kind of lessons learned. This is a war we lost. And that stings. And it stings both sides of the political aisle, pretty badly. And so some amount of time is likely required to pass before people who were directly involved in the war are no longer in positions of power. And it becomes less sensitive to actually look back at what happened and examine it critically.
Meanwhile, humanitarian groups are drawing attention to the plight of the Afghan people facing poverty and desperation. Refugee groups are pushing the administration to speed up relocation of tens of thousands of Afghan allies left in the country. Patsy Widakuswara, VOA News, Washington.